Round four is kicking off, and it is off to a rough start. About half of all the players are injured at this point, I swear. And last week, I went about as well as the Dragons, only tipping 3 out of 8. Woeful compared to the week before. Did back some roughies in there, but they just didn't pay off at all. So this week, it's shaping up to be another doozy with the amount of key outs for a lot of the teams, with multiple teams as well missing their star halves. So that's always going to be a little bit of a tricky time for them. So Thursday night, we've got the Roosters taking on Penrith. I'm going to go Roosters 1 to 12. Though I don't feel super about it going against a Penrith team that's been looking red hot, but with no Cleary, who is my sleep paralysis demon at this point, as well as no Scotty Too Hotty and still no Fisher Harris. I think the Roosters, they're just going to be too much at this point. They've also got some outs in Lindsay Collins, but he's replaced in the barely human Harrell May at this point. The gas tank that's on that bloke is ridiculous. Sandon Smith is also out, but Kiri slots back in, so they're all G there. Roosters, they're looking very solid after pumping the Bunnies within an inch of their life last week. Think all around their team is going to give Penrith trouble. They're not quite the same team without Nathan. We've seen that in the past, them kind of struggling without him leading them around. So, what happened last week as well probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Nathan in that side. So, yeah, I will have to see how they go with that. So, Roosters, they should just kick to their big man on the wing, though, because they tower over the Penrith wingers. I think it's going to be a good game and a big test for Penrith out the main man as well. Friday, we cut to Rabbithos versus the Bulldogs. Rabbits are in all kinds of trouble, losing 3 in a row at the moment, and Doggies are coming off their first win for the season. Again, might not be the best idea, but and maybe I've been a little bit too harsh on the Bulldogs previously, but I'm going to take them 1 to 12 as well. My head is telling me surely the Rabbits are due for a win, but especially, yeah, Bulldogs have at least turned up every single week at this point as well. They will make a game of things, I think. So I'd kind of like to see Rabbitohs take another L. They are just shuffling players around in their team as well and just seeing what sticks. At least poor Cookie isn't coming off the bench this time. While it might have been against the Titans, I think they can, if they play anything like they did last week, they're an absolute chance of getting back-to-back wins, the Doggies. My poor Broncos, they have been ravaged with injuries again. This time losing Piacora and training, just not a fun time either way, but I'm backing the boys to get it done over the Cowgirls 1 to 12. Just know my Broncos, that tip each week is going to be optional because I might not be thinking straight all the time with them. So, yeah, we lost Walsh, Haas, Piacora, but we got Reno back. So, thank God for that. Sailor is a proper talent who can be straight into that kind of Walsh type of role with that freaky X factor kind of thing they can do, like banana kicking across field to the wingers just casually. We also get Jaden Hunt, and let me remind you that it's spelled Jayden. So that's a proper Jaden if I've ever seen one. So he looked bloody good in the trials. So I've got faith the boys can get it done. After mentioning faith as well, we finally get to see the legendary return of Corey Oates. So he's going to be starting off the bench. And while we're on something old as well, they're going to be rocking their Heritage Diamond kit while they give it to the Cowboys as well. Cowboys defense, it has not looked super in the last few weeks. So honestly, I could almost change this to 13 plus because we've got the attack to put some serious points on them. I really want to get to this game, but unfortunately, I'm going to be in New Zealand, so no derby this year. So next up, Dragons versus Manly on the Saturday. I got Manly 13 plus, simple as that. Very unlucky against the Roosters last week. I think that was, again, they definitely should have won. They came out very hot and heavy with that one. Dragons seem to have some points in them, especially out on Lomax's side, but good luck keeping Manly out in that case. They got way too much firepower across the park, and it seems that Tommy is only just warming up as well. Hopefully Dragons don't give me another mini heart attack, though, coming hot out of the gates. I guess as long as Manly don't shit the bed like they did last week, should be safe hands with Manly. Another Queensland clash, the Titans taking on the Dolphins. After what we've seen from the Titans, I'm going Dolphins 13 plus. Losing Tino, if you ask me, is the final blow for them. Here's the heart and soul of that team. They get Jaden Campbell back, which is very handy and looks like for feeders close, and who knows, maybe even could potentially make a return. But I don't think that's enough to get them over the line at this point against the Dolphins. I still think the Dolphins are going to be hit and miss throughout the season, but they've got the players there to put a big score on the Titans. I'm so glad as well the Wars finally got a win last week against the Raiders. I'll be backing them 1 to 12 over the Knights. RTS goes into fullback with Tuapiki out with the HIA, which is super dangerous with him roaming around in the fullback position. Knights looked extremely average last week, and I think they got lucky with Ponga playing as well as he did during that game. Could have been a lot worse if the Storm were anywhere near their full strength team as well. So Warriors really haven't done much wrong so far. Hopefully they can actually get Wade Egan back into the hooking position. Metcalf as well. He's impressed me week in, week out. He's been looking super impressive. And I can imagine they just keep this roll on at home as well. Very excited to see what their team's going to look like once Chance comes back into the side as well. Knights are also losing a big boy in Leo Thompson after wiping out Paps last week. He goes very hard in the middle, so that's a big loss for them. And the Waz, they've probably got one of the best forward packs in the comp, so up the Waz. No doubt the Sharks will be looking to bounce back as well after getting absolutely pumped by the Tigers last week. I'm going to get around Sticky's boys though, 13 plus for the Raiders. Raiders have really impressed me, and I'm so glad as well that I backed them this season to do all right compared to a lot of people that completely write them off. Confident they can get it done. Sharks have a depleted forward pack. Talakai is having to step up into the second row just to help out. So Uncle Iro, he gets a bit of a run, but I don't think that's much to worry about. Canberra are just going to be way too physical for them up the middle. Fogarty has looked unreal as well this season and can just lead them around to get the W. His kicking game has just been amazing as well. So Seb Chris, he comes back into the attack, which just adds even more to their ability to score points. Big Milk is going to get it done again. Now, this one I'm not really feeling the most sure of, but I'm going to back Eels 1 to 12. But I've got a feeling the Tigers are really going to come and make a game of this one. So I was going to write the Eels off as soon as I saw Moses was out. But once I saw that they're bringing in Blaze Talagi into 5'8", I think that's a good choice. He was super ballsy last week. He's got the confidence on him, especially that he could definitely be a devastating runner in the halves. Decided to run right over the top of Tommy Turbo last week. So, yeah, he's going to be dangerous in the attack. So, the rest of the squad as well, they're on at the moment. They looked well enough coming back and getting it done against Manly last week. I'd like to see the Tigers get it done over the Eels and go back to back, but I think it's going to be a pretty tough task for them. So, that's pretty much what we're working with at this point. So my tips of the week, I'm gonna go Dean Mariner anytime, Dylan Wateni Zalesniak anytime, and I'm gonna go Blaze Talagi to get over again. So who are you guys back in this week? What are your tips looking like? How are you traveling with the doll? Let me know in the comments there, and have a good one.